All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now officially live with another exciting session of our Staffmark live podcast. They usually are every final Friday of the month, so mark your calendars and tell Siri to remind you that we will go live every final Friday of the month at 11. I usually try to bring on a special guest that is either in the industry of staffing, in the staffing world in general, maybe a client spotlight, maybe somebody cool that you've never met that works at Staffmark, which is what I'm bringing to you guys today. We have a really special guest, and I'm going to let the ticker kind of tick up a little bit before I introduce him. If you're new here and you've never seen a Staffmark podcast, like I said, we usually have some sort of special guest, a client spotlight, maybe a community partner even that helps kind of give that workforce solution, that special touch in our community. I am in Florida now. I'm the market manager in the Florida branch for Staffmark. But most of you that may be watching today are either in Kentucky or Indiana or Ohio, my friends and family and followers. Thank you guys for following along through the years and sticking with me here now that I have moved to Florida. So we are loving it here. We are being a successful branch, and we're just very excited to give you all the things Staffmark. So without further ado, I see some folks have joined in on the podcast, and feel free to say hi, give us a little chat in the box, and tell us that you can see and hear us. I would love and am honored to introduce our very special guest today. It's Mr. Matt McGowan. He is the Director of Social Impact for RGF Connect, and he will tell us a little bit about what that is when our conversation gets going here. But hey, Matt, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hey, Haley, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I want to jump right into the conversation because I know that a few people watching will have some ties and connections to some of the things that you've been involved in your career and even some in your personal life. So let's get started with just a little bit about your background with Kentucky and Ohio, maybe even Carrollton. I know I have some Carrollton friends watching today, and then we can jump into some other things too. But give us a start on that.
So I'm born and raised in and around Cincinnati, Ohio, but my family's roots run deep in the state of Kentucky. We are from Leslie County, Kentucky. So my mom came to Cincinnati around the age of 18. We still get down that ways every once in a while, but my connection to Carrollton is when I started with Staffmark Group. After a couple years, I was named the branch manager of our Florence, Kentucky office. And at the time, we had satellite offices in Dry Ridge and Carrollton. So for a short amount of time, I remotely managed both of those branches as well. So I spent some time in the absolutely beautiful city of Carrollton, Kentucky, and one of my favorite places.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, seriously, because it is truly one of my favorite places too. It always will be home to me. And did you ever visit Butler Park when you were there? Did you ever go and get to see it?
I don't think I did.
If you ever get a chance to, you have to go visit Butler Park and you have to go to the observation point. It's like the lookout. You can see the whole city.
I am way overdue for a visit, so that will be on the itinerary.
Yes. So very cool fun fact, Matt. I just told him this before we hopped on. I was Miss Leslie County 2011. How freaking cool that he is from Leslie County. I was creeping his LinkedIn one day, like one does before they are a podcast visitor with you. And I was like, we have so many connections and ties. I just love it so much. So we will get into some of that. And let's jump into like a little bit more of your political background, because I know that you have one. And I want you to tell our viewers here today how that is.
So, like Haley, I have served on city council for my community. In 2005, or it was 2006, actually, I believe, maybe 2005, right around that time, I was offered the role of clerk of council in the city of Cheviot, which is a first-ring suburb just to the west of Cincinnati.
Yay.
And 2 years later, I was running for mayor against a lifelong friend of mine, Sam Keller. Sam won. Sam is still the mayor there all these years later, and does a fine job.
Hey, Sam.
Um, but after that, there was an opening on city council, and interestingly enough, it was um, a Democratic seat that was open. I had previously run as a Republican, but kind of really was more of an independent and shifted back to being an independent.
Right.
And Sam offered me that seat on behalf of the local Democratic Party. I took it and ran for reelection later that year with the endorsements of both parties as an independent.
Oh, I
And
love
so
that.
I served on Cheviot City Council from 2009 to 2012. And
Very cool.
it was the city I grew up in. I have a deep love for it. I still get back as often as I can. Tremendous place. And it was a tremendous honor to be a part of it. As you know, there's a lot of thankless work that goes into being a city council person. And
Absolutely.
it is truly a labor of love. So for the folks that do it in those smaller communities, such as Carrollton or Cheviot, I salute every one of you because I know what goes into it.
Oh, we salute you right back because
Yeah.
we do. It is a very thankless thing to do. What's one thing that you can remember that was like a contribution that you had that you still think about, like you were so glad to be a part of?
It's interesting because I'm generally I'm generally to the right of the fiscal conservatives when it comes to fiscal issues.
Hmm.
I'm a Thomas Massey type to cite another great Kentuckian.
Yes.
Um, but one of the things that I was particularly proud of is the city of Cheviot has first rate public services. The police, the fire, the maintenance is all top shelf. As you know, it gets really hard to run those, especially around 2009 when we were having the little recession that we were having.
Yes.
So we had to get really creative on how we could continue to fund these services. And we had to get really creative with asking our community to contribute a little more to the services that they
To it.
wanted to
Yeah.
keep up. And the fact that we put it up to a vote was why I was really all for it. Again, I'm generally pretty anti-tax, but they do a great job, and we wouldn't have been able to get equivalent services at any less cost if we were doing it independently or outsourcing it.
Right.
So we went to the community and we
Mm.
went with a plan on how to fund these services with the least amount of impact to people's wallets. And I was really proud to be a part of that effort. The city still has those same services. They are still running. They are still
Wonderful.
extremely efficient, top of the line. I know the feedback that we received then is very equivalent to what they receive now. People are very happy with those services, and just being a part of navigating that city. I was the finance committee chairman
Oh,
through
nice.
that recession. So being able to navigate that recession without cutting jobs or losing people or losing services is something I'm extremely proud of.
Yeah, and making constituents happy, continuing to make them happy throughout all of that is very hard to do. So,
It is, and as
great
you know,
job.
not everybody's happy, and they're very happy to let you hear about it. I don't
Yes,
necessarily offer solutions, but that's okay. That was our
I
job, and
know.
we
I
did a good job.
always I always said when there was like a room full of people at the city hall during city council meetings, I'm like, it usually means that there's a lot of like angry people, and we don't want that.
They're
So,
never there to tell you good job.
no, not at all. Well, thank you for giving us that background. I did also, well, we talked a little bit about your Carrollton, Kentucky connections, but tell us where you're at now, where you're located, and a little bit about what you do.
So currently, I am located in Westchester, Ohio. It's a little north of the city, and my new role is the director of social impact, and that is for our RGF Connect program. So this is something I'm super proud of because basically what we're doing is we're taking what we do as staffing professionals every day, because I like to say anybody that spent 5 minutes with me talking about staffing has heard me say you have to have the heart of a social worker to do this work.
Oh, yeah,
It's not always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. So what
absolutely.
the RGF Connect program does is we focus on groups that face significant barriers to employment. Think veterans, think young adults just entering the workforce, think seniors who still have something to contribute, individuals with disabilities. These are some
Nice.
examples of the groups that
Yeah.
our programs are targeted towards. So my role, I get to help us create these programs, um, and make sure that we're hitting the right people and that we're actually demonstrating results and helping people to overcome those challenges. We've got a lot of tremendous programs that we participate in at Staffmark that were in effect prior to me coming into this role. So a large part of my first 6 months in this role has been kind of connecting the dots around the country with
Yes.
folks who are doing this work already in advance of this program. Brooke Kessinger in Arkansas would be one, Caleb Hall in Minnesota, Joan Travella in Connecticut. These are all individuals who have reached out to the community and used the power of the work that we do here at Staffmark Group to help make their communities better and help people find those opportunities for careers to get their families on track. So I,
Yes.
I have never, in all the things that I've done in my 50 plus years, have never had anything as rewarding as what I'm doing now.
Oh,
It's just an
that
honor to
makes me so happy. It
yeah,
truly is. I think we forget that it's not just a tagline for Staffmark. It's like we embody the heart between people and jobs. And I think that this initiative and the ones that you've helped lead are phenomenal. And I'm so excited to be part of something like that and just bigger than ourselves. It really is
it
amazing.
really is. I appreciate that. And one of the things that I've heard from so many of our community partners is a lot of companies talk about doing this, and they'll have, like, we had our week of impact.
Yes.
A company will come in, they'll do something for a day, and then you won't hear from them again until the next year. What the difference with what Staffmark Group is doing, based on what I have heard from members of the community as well as the organizations that serve them, is that we are truly showing up. We are there. It's not just a tagline, as you said. We truly are the heart between people and jobs. We are putting our money where our mouth is, and we're making a significant impact.
I agree
We
100%.
hosted an event yesterday for the Cincinnati Military Veteran Employer Consortium, and one of the things that we heard from one of our community partners, Easter Seals Redwood, is that people have been calling them and saying, "Hey, when is Staffmark going to come back and do another computer
Oh,
skills training or another AI in the job search training?"
I
Because they
love
found it
that.
so valuable that they're telling friends and they want to come in. And it's just, that is like, that's what we live for. It's perfect.
That's amazing. And the fact that they thought of us and it's just, I mean, it's very rewarding.
It
So,
is. It is. It's an honor to
um,
be viewed that way as someone who truly puts their money
yes,
into this.
you mentioned the week of impact. Tell the viewers, like maybe one or two things that just pop out in your mind that were so great and you wanted to highlight.
Oh, there's so many stories. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I had mentioned we did 2 trainings here in Cincinnati with Easter Seals Redwood, and these were targeted towards older veterans. When we went to Easter Seals, we asked them, what type of training would be most valuable to the people you serve? How can we help you in your mission? And the first thing they said was, we have a lot of older veterans who want to get back in the workforce, but they don't know how to navigate LinkedIn. They don't know
Navigate.
how to
Yeah.
make a resume. They don't know how to start an email account and check it. So
Yeah.
we went in, we created a training in house to teach them to do just that. And then we took it a step better. Jamie Shutt's team here locally um, put together an AI training. So we could teach them how to utilize ChatGPT to do a cover letter and a resume, how to utilize AI when they're searching for jobs through Indeed and other LinkedIn and other
Yeah.
sources. So, the trainings that we've created, and again, these are in markets all across the US, are based on what we're being told by our community partners they could need the most.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. Well, if you guys get a chance, if you're viewing any of this podcast, even in snippets or later in the day, if you get a chance, go on LinkedIn and connect with Matt and literally go through his feed and look at all the amazing things that we've been doing as a company and as community partners and just as humans, as people with the biggest hearts. We really do love to help. So that's why we're in this industry, right? That's what I say.
100%. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so we talked a little bit about RGF and the Global Week of Impact. Give us a really cool fun fact that the people viewing may not know about you.
Oh wow. Man, I don't. One of my biggest honors in life, um, as you know, we have our BRGs here at Staffmark Group. Um, One of them is the Military Alliance. I was the original chair of the Military Alliance,
Yes.
and back when we first started, we were sponsors of the Cincinnati Reds, and so they host military appreciation nights periodically through the
How
year,
cool.
July
I did
4th.
not know
Yeah.
that.
And so, I grew up like the Reds were the beginning and end of everything in my life. I absolutely, still to this day, love the Cincinnati Reds. One of my biggest thrills is just going to the ballpark and enjoying a game.
Isn't it just
I
the
still get
energy is
together with
amazing?
family and friends on the regular and attend. So we were offered the opportunity to have someone throw out the first pitch at a Reds game in 2023, and I got to live out my boyhood dream,
No way.
throwing out the first pitch at a Reds game. I think that I don't know if I'll ever be able to say that I've done anything cooler than that.
Matt, that
It
is
was
the coolest fun
it
fact.
was, and with Jen Fitzpatrick as co-chair, she came out, she caught the first pitch. Well, she would have caught it if I wouldn't have been so excited and fired it over her head, but it did nothing to take away from the thrill of being
Oh
out there.
my gosh, that's awesome. I
Yeah, it
did
was
not
super cool.
realize that. I'm gonna have to ask her about it.
Yeah, it was a little bit high. She gave it her best effort. I just all I was thinking when I went up there is don't bounce it, don't bounce it, don't bounce it. So I did the exact opposite of bouncing it. It did glance off her glove, so it wasn't terrible
Ooh.
high, but it was a little there was a little excitement coursing through my veins. So
Oh my gosh,
um,
the adrenaline was probably just
it was on
pumping.
overload for sure. But it was a cool thing, and every once in a while the memory will pop up on Facebook, and I'll have friends from various points in my life who see it and they're like, "Holy crap!" And it's just
That's
it's super
amazing.
cool. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
one of
love
my
that.
fondest memories.
And I was actually thinking in my brain, I really hope he talks about being a Kentucky Colonel as well, because
That
that is a really cool fun fact. And I want you to tell our viewers a little bit about that too.
that is a tremendous honor. It was completely unexpected. So I got out of the military in 1995, and one of the reasons that I'm so proud of our Operation Hired program at Staffmark is because this was I had an opportunity to help create this, and one of the things that drove me was the fact that there was a 10-year period after I got out of the military that I kind of wandered aimlessly in the employment market, and
Yeah.
fortunately I had family who owned a restaurant in downtown Cincinnati. So I spent a lot of time during that period working there, and we had somebody who would come into the restaurant from that worked in the governor's office in Kentucky. And so my mom, who is a passionate person, a passionate Kentuckian, loves her
Oh,
home state, very proud of her son, obviously,
of
would
course.
just remark to this guy every time he came in, like, my son's a veteran and he did this in the military and he did that in the military and all this kind of stuff. And so, unbeknown to me, um, he helped my mom put me in for a commission as a Kentucky colonel based on my service as
I
a
love
member of the
it.
United States Army. So a couple months later, out of the clear blue, I get this package with a certificate that I had been commissioned a Kentucky colonel. And I know you are familiar with the organization. They do so much great work. Their good
Yes,
work program is
it's
just
phenomenal.
it's really it was kind of my gateway drug into the world of philanthropy,
Yes.
like helping others and being a part of my community. It was like my first introduction to participating in something that was larger than myself, other than the military, obviously, but as far as helping people in the community, that was my entry point, and it's stuck with me ever since. It's driven so much of what I do. I'm so proud to be among some really great people who do a lot to help people through that organization.
I love
So
that so much, Matt. Thank
yeah,
you for
super cool.
sharing all of that. I mean, it's truly amazing not only to meet a true Kentuckian that loves their home state so much and everything about it, but a philanthropist, ex city councilman, like it's just all the things. I swear that we are both the same human. Like you're my spirit animal, just in a male form. So
We
I
have a
think that's
lot in
awesome.
common. It's pretty remarkable, and
Yeah, it is for
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Matt, did you have anything else you wanted to say before we hop off of here?
Just, I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to join your podcast. I'm a big fan. You are a fine example of the heart between people and jobs here at Staffmark. I mean, everyone who isn't already doing so should hop on your LinkedIn and see the work that you're doing in your community and the way that you represent our organization. Like you are a fine example, and it's my privilege to be here with you today.
That means a lot. Thank you so much, Matt. Truly.
Absolutely.
So happy to have you on here. So happy to be a part of Staffmark and the journeys that we're all kind of taking and finding our way as we go. So I really am honored. Thank you guys so much. Hop on our LinkedIn, connect with us. This will be shared out. This video will be shared out on all of the social media platforms. I'll throw it up on YouTube and all of that good stuff. So catch us next time, Final Friday at 11 a.m. Matt, thank you so much. I truly have enjoyed this. You're the
Thank
best.
you, Haley. Me too. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you guys. See you next time.